Hello, and once again, we are live with the Modern Mystery School UK EU podcast and YouTube channel. And today we are joined by the lovely Rachel. Rachel, how are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I am very excited to hear, um, why do you think the path is important in today's world? Because, we could just be living life and just, going to work, coming home, kids and families and whatever life brings us. Why would walking a spiritual path be important, or maybe it's not? I'd love to hear your perspective.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I mean, I obviously think it's extremely important. I think it's the foundation of everything. I mean, if the first teaching that we receive in the mystery school, ancient lineage of King Solomon, is that we're all eternal spiritual beings having this physical experience. Well, that right there tells you, okay, like this whole earthly experience that I'm having, whatever components are a part of it, I'm actually an eternal spiritual being. And therefore, I decided to come here. So then, I feel like more questions come of like, well, why did I decide to come here? What is this earthly experience about for me? What are the lessons I chose to learn? And what is ultimately the way that I want to be expressing myself here in this physical experience as the eternal spiritual being I am? And I find that often in the Western world, there's not, or in maybe Eastern world, I don't know, I don't live there, but there's not a lot of teachings potentially starting with that as the foundation of like, okay, you're an eternal spiritual being, you're here in the physical. What are the tools and teachings that you need to really make sure that you get the most out of this life, that you live a joyful and fulfilling life, that all that you're building in this world really brings you true fulfillment? And so when I think about the path, I see a lot of people in the world right now who have maybe built what we would call from the outer world perspective, like a fulfilling or successful life, but still they feel something's missing inside. And so, and that was very much so my journey too, right? Is like following this programming that I had received of like, okay, you get the college degree, you build, you find a good paying job, and you have these material items, and that leads to a fulfilling life. And then you wake up one day and you're like, wait, but I'm not really fulfilled. And kind of the more, for me, at least in the corporate world, I felt like the more success to have, or the higher I would climb in the corporate ladder, I would say that I was sacrificing more of who I was. And so I was losing even more of myself to like reach these higher levels of success. And so yeah, I think like ultimately, if people are really looking for, okay, well, who am I really? And how do I build this life that does feel good to me and lights me up every day and gives me fulfillment? Then I need a path or a way to get there. And yeah, so that's ultimately why I think finding and having a spiritual path that you can walk is super important in life, because it literally lays the foundation for you to take all your gifts and strengths, but then now start walking a path to build with new tools to build a fulfilling, joyful life.
I think that's so important because time and time again I hear from people, they've got the job, they've got the family, they've got this, and whatever it is, and that there's still something missing, or they still feel like they can achieve more, or there's still something that is not quite clicking in, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And it's often definitely, growing up, for me, a spiritual path was not something that was ever talked about. you know
Yeah. Yeah.
in school, or the world. I mean, you could go to church, I mean, you could do that, but there wasn't this emphasis. And you're so right in that it is about us remembering who we truly are as that divine eternal being, because if we don't have that piece of us, there's a huge chunk missing. So I love that. I love that. And I think, do you think that more people are in today's world perhaps more open to that? Or do you feel that, maybe that's something still so quite far removed that they think it's something, you know, that they were going to have to isolate themselves from their friends and their family, and just, you know, only hang around with people that are, I don't know, spiritual or whatever it is. But do you know what I'm trying to say? Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Like there might be a lot of misconceptions out there of like, oh, if I'm walking a spiritual path, like does that mean I'm up on a mountaintop and I'm gonna maybe shave my head and become a monk and yeah, live this life that's very removed from society. And yeah, I mean it's funny because here in California, I feel like actually a lot of people maybe have a spiritual practice, but you see a lot of potentially like dabbling around, trying a lot of different things, and which is great. I think sometimes we have to do that exploration and find maybe different things that work for us. But I think also like at the end of the day, if we can really find one path that really speaks to us and walk that one path, that's where you're going to see the fruits of it. Because any deeper practice, it's like you have to really walk it and work with those tools and go deeper into it to really start to oftentimes see the fruits versus just kind of a little taste of this, a little taste of that. Um, but yeah, I do think people are becoming more open-minded or realizing, okay, I don't have all the answers. So you know, what are the ancient keys, or what is this ancient wisdom or teachings that are out there that really help me to build the life that I'm feeling inside my heart, but I don't have maybe the way to get there. And I think for many of us who found the lineage of King Solomon, the ancient, you know, modern mystery school teachings, I mean, all of us were like, wow, this is really what we were looking for. I can't believe this actually exists, right? So yeah, I mean, I guess to each his own, but we just keep putting this message out there. So whoever is looking for more fulfillment, whoever's looking for, like, hey, my life's pretty good, but I feel like it could be better. Or I feel like there's deeper parts of myself that I'm wanting to express in the world, and I don't really know how to become that higher version of myself that I sense and feel could be within me. We're here to tell you that, hey, magic is real. There is a path to help you get there, and that quantum shift that you're looking to make from the inside is absolutely possible. So come join us and we'll explain how the path works. And maybe for some people, hearing the word path is a little intimidating. I don't know if you ever hear that, but you know, I think like if it was easy enough that we could just, you know, if there was like a one tool fix all out there, you mean great, but we know from life that there are no shortcuts. And oftentimes it's the journey of getting somewhere and the growth that comes with us that leads us to the greatest joy in our lives. So it is about a path because we're multidimensional and there's deeper layers that we sometimes have to access.
I love that. And I love that you picked up on the jumping and hopping around. I did that. I mean, I definitely did that and explored, and I 100% agree. Sometimes it's really nice to explore, but then I would never actually get anywhere. I was like,
Yeah.
and it's like that thing that, you know, walking a path, you actually get somewhere because it's leading somewhere. A path leads you somewhere.
Right.
Whereas if you're hopping around and not on a path, then you often kind of going around in circles, which, hey, is, you know, that might be something that we want to do to explore first of all before choosing a path. I 100% agree with you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I love that because, you know, and sometimes I often say, well, you know, it's a path or a map or a way to get to our greatness. And just as you were saying, you know, to really understand who we truly are. And I think it's important to know that, yeah, it is a lifetime of a journey, but it's at our own pace as well.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, each of us are walking this path, and some of us like to be quite leisurely, and then others like to do a little bit of a sprint every so often, you know. It's
true.
You know, and then we might pass somebody, oh hi, and then they might pass, oh hi, you know. It's kind of like that, isn't it, when you're, which I like as well, because it's a really lovely community feel then, because you see other people on your pathway, even though you're walking it. So
100%.
yeah,
I completely agree with you. And I would say like that's part of the most fulfilling part too, is just the community, like you said, and the people that you meet along the way. And it's so nice to connect with people on a deeper level because I think prior to walking a spiritual path, I mean, not to say I didn't have friends, I had a lot of friends, but a lot of times maybe there was debauchery as part of that friendship. You know, you're going out and having drinks and waking up not feeling well the next day. And so to connect with people on a more deeper soul level where, you know, there's no masks or like liquid courage, you know, for us to be able to connect. And we're able to talk about higher mind things, things that we're overcoming, things that we're working on. I mean, these are the real conversations that I think everybody wants to have. And so I feel like, yeah, coming together and having a spiritual community that supports you in your growth, and we're like cheering each other on. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Our time has whizzed by, and I mean, if you know, I think if anybody's listening out there, and I think that ending is perfect, is like, come on, and cheering each other on. I think everybody's going to want to come and try the path. So that's one. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been lovely. Have a beautiful rest of your day.
Yeah, and thank you everybody, and we will see you all again soon. Good night.